How's she going, boys? Welcome back to Grampy's Workshop. Some nice to have you along today for another little job. Now, this is going to be a modification today. Standing in front of my Can-Am ATV, 2010 Can-Am 500 Max XT. Nice machine. I have a windscreen on it, as you can see. Nice little additions. Got the fairing here, hand protectors. But when I bought this, I had the option to get a high screen or a low screen. Well, I ended up getting a low screen. I think that was a mistake, because watch when I sit on it. So I'm sitting on the bike. I have good visibility over the screen. Trouble is, when the wind comes from driving the bike, it comes here, hits the screen, it comes right up and breaks right over the top and gets you right in the eyes. And I'm forever rubbing my eyes. Even when you put goggles on, it seems like it gets, you know, it bugs you. So the problem that I have is this windscreen is too low. What I tried to do to resolve that issue was I went to, I went online, a bunch of different places, see if I could find just the glass part, the polycarbonate part that was higher to fit in the fairing. Couldn't find it, so I went to Can-Am and asked them. Can-Am checked out the price of just the carbonate or for a whole new fairing with the higher screen, and they said you may as well just get the whole fairing because the glass was about 3/4 of the price. And they said just get the whole shebang, then you know that it's going to fit. There won't be any fitment issues. It'll work great. So anybody who has a Can-Am product knows that you can't buy Can-Am OEM parts at discount prices, which is sort of my middle name. I don't like paying full price for anything. So I didn't go that route. So my idea was, how can I raise this? I was just going to take it right off and go without it, but it does help a lot, especially on the hand grips here. And for winter driving, it's slick. It keeps you a lot warmer. FYI, anybody who's looking at driving an ATV, driving it in the winter, a windscreen keeps you a lot warmer on the bike. It's hard to believe, but it does. So I looked at other issues of how I could raise the screen. So I'm just going to take you around the back here and show you what my idea is on how to raise this screen for virtually nothing. And it's going to be an experiment to see how it works out. So I'll get you and bring you around here and show you what I'm up to. So here we are on the business end of the bike, and I've moved my GPS mount out of the way so you can just see here. There was 2 nuts and bolts holding this and this right here, and the way this works is between that and these, whoops, I'm going kind of quick here, this connection and this connection, that stud that's under the mirror post, along with that connection and this connection are what hold the windscreen on and so solid. So what my idea is, and I don't know if it's going to work or not, I'm going to try to extend this mount up and this mount up only a couple of inches, because that's all I need. I only need the windscreen up a couple inches more. So I'll move that up 2 inches, move this up 2 inches. I'll have to make some offsets here to come out of here and up to align these brackets with this post below it of 2 inches, and mount it back and see how it works. I'm not exactly sure what other kind of issues I'll get into. I'm thinking this is going to raise straight up, so that windscreen should just come straight up and not bother anything. So we're progressing with this little idea I had to raise the windscreen on the Can-Am. I managed to take the whole windscreen off, and then I discovered that my plan wasn't going to work. It was just going to be too complicated. But as with every plan, there's an alternate plan. So we moved to the alternate plan. And also, if you dig into the alternate plan has subsets. So, you know, there's lots of opportunity to make changes. Anyway, what we're going to do here, I don't know how well you can see this. I'm going to try and point it out as best I can. But this bracket is the main bracket that holds the windscreen. And it mounts in underneath these 4 bolts that hold the handlebars to the steering column. my plan is I'm going to take these 4 bolts out now. This is my new plan. Take these 4 bolts out, and then I'm going to raise this bracket and put it on the top of this mount, so that'll raise it up just about 2 inches. And we'll come back and see how that works out. Maybe we'll have to go to one of the subsets of the plan B. So I ended up going into the subsets quite a bit to do all this. So she didn't quite line up, but I managed to get it back together. Now I haven't put the windscreen on it yet, so I'm not sure the angle of the windscreen. But here on the steering column, I have mounted this mounting bracket up on the top. Okay, so I was figuring if I did that, along with this little detent in it, my trim piece would go on, but as usual, it doesn't. So, but anyway, that's easily remedied if this will hold the windscreen correctly. It was a little tight on here. I had to change the angle of the handlebars just somewhat. But anyway, that didn't work out too bad. I took my GPS mount off, but I mean that's totally adjustable, so that's not going to cause any interference. So what I'm going to do now is go get the windscreen, put that on. So, does that look any different? I don't know, the windscreen's a little higher. So I tried to raise it. My first thought was this bracket right here on the steering column. I'll just take that from the bottom of the steering column, mount on the top. That would move it up about 2 inch, maybe 1.5 inches. That's all I'd need. When I did that, I figured I'd just put spacers in here and here to make up the difference. But I forgot about it being attached here and here. So that didn't work. So then what I did was I mounted this mounting bracket underneath the mounting brackets that go on the holders for the windscreen, and I just tightened these brackets, just bent them down to put them in the original places. That tipped the windscreen back a little, but made no difference whatsoever. So then I made these little spacers. They're just 1 inch tall to raise this back up again. So it made a little bit of a difference, I must say, but no, it's a fail. She's turning into a can of worms, buddy. So we're back here trying to make improvements to my windscreen to make it higher, right? So here's what I'm doing. Look at that. I made these brackets. I put one bracket in right here. It was just this is just a trial thing. So that bracket is only very thin metal, but it's about 2 inches high. And I was going to mount the bracket on this side. And let's show you. Look at that. The bolt bottomed out in the hole, and this cheesy metal that they made the bracket have twisted right off. Poor me. Now what am I going to do? Trying to make it better, and you end up making it worse. But anyway, that's the way she goes. But this job's turned into a dog's breakfast in a hurry. I might just put the windscreen over there on the bench and leave it and go without it. Might be a better idea. Anyways, stay tuned for episode 6. Or mod 6, or whatever. We're making headway on this windscreen, but it's turned into a costly project. There's the old windscreen. I'm going to sit on the bike here, and you can see how, like, it comes about neck height, this screen. So when I was driving, of course, the wind would break, get you right in the eye, and it wasn't a very comfortable ride. So what I did was I tried to raise this screen, but while I was trying to raise it, of course I broke an integral part. And when you go to the dealer, the only way you could get a replacement is if you bought a whole kit. I don't understand that, because they list the parts as having a separate catalog number, part number, whatever. Anyway, here's the new screen, and I'm just going to snap 2 of the connections on it. It does go on quite easily. So there's the other one. So here's what it looks like when I sit on it now. So you can see now that the top of the windshield is just about nose height. So I have visibility over the windshield or through the windshield, and this will make the wind break right over top of my head, which is what I wanted. I thought it was going to be a piece of cake, but like everything, the first plan doesn't always work, and like I was saying in the video, the second and the third and the fourth plan sometimes are not the best either. But anyway, we got her. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. It's just typical of what goes on at the camp here and in Grampy's workshop. Lots of times you start out with the best of intentions and she just goes south in a hurry. Like this job turned into a dog's breakfast, and it was terrible. And I was upset and, yes, peed off. And thank goodness Nanny said, go ahead, buy yourself a new proper windscreen and stop all this arsing around that you're doing. So that's what I did. So that's it, folks. Hope you like it. You can thumbs up me. Looking forward to reading your comments. I'd like you to load this up with comments because I'm sure there's good ideas, better ideas than what I had, plans like that. Oh, and I want to give a shout out to my old buddy, Steve Robb. Everybody knows Steve. Steve Robb had just done a video on the windscreens a week before I started this project, and he was saying what a nasty, no good piece of junk these little connectors are that hold the polycarbonate to the fairing. Well, I kind of chuckled when he said that because I didn't have that problem with mine, right? But this new one, I had to put the polycarbonate on the fairing, and it had those, Steve, if you're listening, it had those little wing-wang connectors that you were talking about, and they are a piece of, you know what, and they're hard to get on. It was hard to hold this windscreen the right way so I could, never mind. You know what I'm talking about. If anybody else gets a windscreen like this, has to put those little fasteners on, good luck. Take a happy pill or something before you start the job. Okay, give me lots of comments. If you're interested in my channel and you'd like to see what else I'm putting out there, you can subscribe. That's up to you. I'm not in it for subscribers. I'm in it for just making videos and showing what goes on at the camp, showing you how much fun we can have. And although this was a miserable job, I did have fun doing it. And now I'm looking forward to going for a little tool around on my new, not my new bike, my old Can-Am with the new windscreen. So that's the way she blows around here, folks. But with the windscreen, she'll blow right over your head. Take her easy. Talk to you.